Hi, I got my lip gloss on. It's like I made an effort to put on lip gloss. I usually, I feel like I am without make or naked, face naked, if I don't have one of two things on. One is earrings, two is eyeliner. Okay, so I don't really wear lip stuff for the cosmetic aspect. Like I do have, chapstick or lip gloss or shea butter or anything like that. So I'm not a product person in that regard. But um, yeah, today I was like, let me just put on my little lip gloss, my little something something there just to start the day with. I know it's not going to stay. um, as soon as I start talking to the children in about an hour or so, it's gonna be gone, and that's totally fine with me. I just wanted to at least start the day with some moisturized, glossy lip action there. All right, so I'm heading into work. I just left the apartment with my brother. I'm trying to monitor his moods a little bit more. It's hard because I'm not here. Um, Especially now that he's back on this new old medication. So he had been on this medication before, but it was not, from what I can tell, extended release, the mood regulator. So he's now on, I guess, what is a extended release. And I have him taking it at night so that when he wakes up in the morning, he is, well rested and he's in a good mood. But then you can tell when the medication is wearing off by the afternoon, in the evening. Um, and I kind of strategically did that because I feel like if he's taking it in the morning, he's already, completely unmedicated. And chances are he might he might not take his morning medication. Now he's still forgetting because that's the reason why I'm over there, because I just was over there. And he's like washing clothes, doing other little things around the apartment. Seems like he's piddling around a bit, but he still forgot to take his medication. So I'm trying to figure out a way for him, like the afternoon alarm is working now, but it only works if he's actually at the apartment. So that's the other issue right now. So I'm trying to see if I could get him to like program his watch, because now his watch. A lot of I'm just gonna say this before I go any further. I am so grateful that a lot of the things that I was trying to get him to do um, for almost the last 6-7 months or so is now starting to like sink in for him, and he's actually doing them. Things like have a watch on, okay, with an alarm that he's paying attention to, right? He wasn't doing those things. Um, Actually being on a semi schedule, even though he's kind of, fallen off a little bit this week, not this month, but this week. And I'm trying to intentionally make sure that I recognize changes in his mood when I can, because I'm at work. And from what I can tell, depending, his mood swings are, they happen like moment by moment, hour by hour sometimes. Now, what I have noticed this week is that he has been a little bit more agitated, I think, like talking to himself. He was looking for, and I've mentioned this before in other videos, I think a lot of people do this, look for reasons to be upset, to attach the feeling to, right? So I think biochemically, a lot of people are not, they don't feel good, but they're out looking for reasons to attach the feeling to. Okay. So if you don't eat well, sleep well, take care of your body, any little thing could quote unquote set you off, right? And then you're upset, and then that's what you're blaming your bad mood on. When really you haven't really been taking care of your body, you know? And I see this in, some coworkers sometimes. I see it in kids. Um, so even with my brother, I'm trying to make sure that he is, eating well. as much as possible. He went to the food pantry this last weekend, and I noticed that in the package that he got a lot of sugary things. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm not blaming it on that, but yeah, take care of your body. So yeah, so I try to give him, I don't try to restrict him of sugar. I give him natural sugars like fruit. In fact, last night I forgot my phones because I was taking a class. See, this is the other things. Like, I'm super busy as an educator. It's like this is my time where things are like going to get really, really busy all the way up until the holiday season in December, you know. Um, in the United States American school system, forever how long we still have it, who knows, with this president. This is where we determine seriously when kids might be held back. That's how early we have to just like figure it out. Like, we've been in school already for this day 36, 37. I don't see, I see definitely one or two kids who are slightly under the cohort, but on grade level, if that makes sense. Because I work at a charter school, and most of the kids tend to be a little bit high achievers. Okay. But we also have a percentage of kids with special needs, like a large, like, excuse me, like 20 to 30%. That's a big chunk for a small charter school. Okay. So when we talk about holistic things, this is a part of my job. So, and I'm not just saying it just to be like, oh, I'm a influencer guru or whatever. It's like, no, I've been doing this because this is a part of my job. So I tell the kids, make sure you get your rest. We even talk about it in our parent teacher conferences, trying to figure out like what's going on with this kid. Like, we really do the thing, because they spend a lot of time with us. I know people know this, but we don't just house them or, make them walk in straight lines all the time. It's like we actually rear them and try to determine what's best for them, at least at our school. So I can't speak for all schools within the United States, but I chose this job. And that's another thing. I like what I do. I chose this job, and every day when I choose to do the very best that I can do for this population of kids. I'm not here just for the check, even though the check is nice. I need a check. I need to pay my bills. Okay. But I'm also there to make a difference. Okay. Like, seriously. But anyway, back to like the nutrition aspect. So my brother, yeah, he just seemed a lot more cranky and forgetful, which he's already forgetful, but it was just getting a little bit more stressed, in my opinion, based on what I was observing this week. Things like, I could tell he was trying to look for an excuse to be mad that I didn't bring him notebook paper, but I brought him notebook paper like within the few hours. So I could see him trying to look for, reasons, situations to be upset. But yeah, so he has paper. He has plenty of paper. He really gets anxious about that kind of stuff. Um, and yeah, that's all I can do is really make sure that his needs are met. I'm still trying to link up. I'm doing phone tag now with the other. We did our virtual intake last week. And so I'm still playing phone tag with this other woman who's supposed to come to the apartment. I'm going to give her a call probably now, even though I know they're not in the office, and this is the other, like, problem. I go to work. I have to be at work, like, in the building right now in like 15 minutes, and most people are just waking up, right? Um, and so my hours are different than a lot of people's. And even if I get a lunch break as an educator, I might not get a lunch break. Like, I actually forgot to eat lunch yesterday because I was doing stuff. There was, a situation. Sometimes we just don't get it. Like, yeah, by law, it's on paper. But if a student is like, in distress, then what you gonna do? Like, oh, I gotta go on my lunch break. Yeah, I'm not doing that. But anyway, so yeah, so I'm gonna maybe just send her another message and an email. I did see that she did send me an email now, so I'm gonna try to see if we can make some kind of arrangement for her to come to the apartment to see my brother. This will be the help that I need because they are also a service where they can help find a psychiatrist for him, maybe provide some care for him. He's kind of independent, but he's not independent enough to be by himself, if that makes sense. And I think the only reason why he hasn't gone off the deep end at all is because, first of all, it's me, his sister, who knows him really, really, really well. And um, the fact that he has the freedom not to run away, if that makes sense, because he's been in group homes on and off for the past 2, 3 years, and he did not like those situations, and I don't blame him. And he's worried that even with this new company or organization that he might go to a group home. And I keep telling him, it's like, we have the lease to this apartment. That this is not them taking over the lease. Okay, so I'm paying the rent. You're not going anywhere unless you want to go. So I have to kind of reassure him with a lot of that. But anyway, I'm gonna go because, like I said, I gotta get in there and um, unpack, start my tea because I need the tea. That's probably yet another thing. Like the air quality here in Atlanta has been really rough this past week, almost for a whole week, quite honestly. It's either been an orange day, a yellow day, and it's for me, I can feel it. Okay. All right, but the sky this morning before the sun came up was gorgeous, getting ready for that new moon. And what looked like, I told the kids yesterday, it looks like a little smile. And then it looks like a little dimple. I think that was Venus. Okay, so I'm not an astronomer or an astrologer. I need to learn a little bit more on that as much as I look at the sky. But anyway, um, yeah, so have a great one. Take care, everybody. Yeah. Seriously, because I really do believe that, and I know that sounds like Pollyanna or woo-woo or whatever, but it's like we can handle hard things, but if you don't nourish your body, and I know people talk about self-care, but no, like let me rephrase it, it's nourishing your body, give it what it needs to thrive, okay? Not just survive, because the United States have done so many things. Again, I can go into a lot of stuff about that, but we got to nourish ourselves. We got to revisit the idea of nourishing ourselves. Okay. And with that, I'm going to say take care. Have a good one. Mwah. Okay. Bye. Let me see these kids. I love them. Get my hug therapy on. My little